Oh, I hear the goddamn birds singing tweedle 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 dee. It's like 5 in the morning. I just made that song up for you to illustrate that it's 5 in the GD morning. And I'm up. I've been in this habit for about a week and a half now. I try to get to bed before dawn because I hate it when the sun comes up. Because it always means, oops, I've stayed up way too late and now my day is going to be either slept away or I'm going to be miserable all day and sleepy. So my natural body rhythm is to stay up all night, part of the morning, and then sleep all day. And then get up in the evening. But it's terrible for me because I don't get things done that I need to get done out in the real world. And I miss the sunshine sometimes. It's been able to see. So I'm definitely extraordinarily nocturnal naturally. And I am wearing something. I've got a nightie on. Don't worry. But I have had the freakiest day that I've had in quite a long time. I've been really having a lot of anxiety over it. And I'm going to zoom in. I don't have any makeup on, but I'm feeling bold. I have terrible skin. I probably shouldn't zoom in, but that looks a little better, huh? Okay, so weird day. Super weird day. I don't remember what I felt like when I woke up, but it was 4:44 in the afternoon when I woke up. I slept 10 hours. 10 hours, but I'm making up for many nights and days of not sleeping more than 4 hours. So anyway, and I thought it was odd. 444, you know, the repeated numbers thing that people get so into and I'll head up about, especially 1111, and I'm a person that sees that 1111 all the time too. So and I kind of thought it was a little odd. And then I got up and got around and decided I'd go out and water my plants and check on my plants because I have planted some vegetables and I have some petunias out there. I'm terrible with plants, but I'm trying really hard to do it right this year, not kill things. And while I was out there standing in my little teeny tiny little flower garden, I wouldn't even call it a yard, this white pickup truck comes pulling up out of the road and slows way down. Well, right across from my home is a dumpster, so I thought, well, maybe he's stopping to put some stuff in the dumpster. But he pulled up right next to me. His truck said a bunch of stuff on it. It was like a truck for a business. It was a pickup truck, but it had the skin on it or the paint or whatever, and it said some business name and there were numbers and stuff. I just didn't take the time to really read it. But he pulled up and rolls his window and he leans out like this at me and he says, "Everybody likes a good steak, right?" And I came up close. I took a few steps out and I said, "I'm sorry, what?" And he said, "Everybody likes a good steak once in a while, right?" I was like, "Yes, I suppose they do." And he said, "That's what I thought. You want to buy some steak?" And I said, "I'm a vegetarian." And he just went and drove off. But he wasn't driving like that. He was not erratic in his driving, only perhaps in his sales pitch. So that was really weird. And then, okay, any of you that knows me well at all knows that I am anxiety prone, although I have a lot of it under control now. Not even through medication, because I couldn't rely on medication to always be there for me, so I've worked out a system within myself for it. But one that remains is my driving phobia. And it comes down to, I feel like sometimes I don't see things when I should see a vehicle there. I'm not seeing it. Or I just do something dumb because I'm nervous when I'm driving and I do little dumb things and then it scares me to death because I think, oh, I could have killed somebody. It's not even like, oh, I could have been killed. It's, I'm afraid I'm going to kill somebody and then have to live with that for the rest of my life. So I avoid driving whenever possible, but I do have to make myself do it because I can't give in to it. So I I will wait until I'm pretty much completely out of food in my kitchen before I will go just like air conditioner, half a block down the street to the grocery store. And same goes for cat food and just general things that I need. I'm never in the mood to get in my car and drive to the store or any place else, but I make myself do it. So tonight was one of those nights, and I have to pep talk myself and get myself into the right mindset before I can go and before I can do it. And I waited until kind of late at night because I knew there would be less traffic. I live on a very busy street, which I hate. I hate. This is the setting that I'm in. I love my actual home, with a few exceptions of things like the stinky carpet in my bedroom that I can't seem to get fixed. I'm not wild about my neighbors, although the guy that lives in my duplex over here on the other side is cool. I like that dude a lot. But I live in a very sketchy area. If you follow me on Facebook, you know about the creek and me talking about people cross the creek, and about me and my neighbor Kenny going out to the dumpster, behind the dumpster, and looking through the bushes, watching people getting arrested across the creek. It is like it is a creek that's just, you know, it's very narrow, but it's sort of a drainage ditch is what it is. And so it's my parking lot and a wooden fence. If you've ever seen or noticed pictures of my home, because I've put up pictures, you have probably noticed the wooden fence, a white wooden fence. And then directly after the wooden fence is a gully, little gully, maybe 3 feet deep, and water that runs through there. And they throw and then beyond that, just directly beyond it, like go up the bank and there it is a set of, I don't know, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 of them, like little efficiency kind of places that rent for super cheap and all bills are paid. It is drug addicts, alcoholics, and severely mentally ill people. And they come over here sometimes and cause some problems or just disturb me. And y'all know, if you follow me on Facebook, some of the stories I have told about people that wander around out here and a few of my experiences. I've not had a negative experience with the people that live here in this complex. People across the creek are forever out there fighting. Tonight there was a woman clearly either completely out of her mind or extremely drunk, or maybe drugs, maybe all three, out there yelling. It just went on and on, or screaming at somebody so loud. And it sounds like it's right in front of my home, because it basically is. And then the complex I live in is on this plot of land that is narrow, but it goes way back. And we only have apartments on one side of it, and the rest is parking lot, and then the fence and the creek and the other people. Okay, so busy street that we have to pull out on. And there's a sidewalk that cuts across it. And it leads, well, pretty much most of the foot traffic is from across the creek, those people walking up to the convenience store. People that live here, when they're going to go to the convenience store on foot, they tend to cut through a little alleyway and go right up around my building or right beside my building. I recognize those people as neighbors. So crazy ass people walking right across there, and during the day and at night it can be very dicey because one has to cut across 2 lanes of traffic if pulling into this place. 2 lanes of traffic, and it's very rapid traffic, and I've nearly been hit several times just trying to pull into my own home, even though I was using a turn signal. It's kind of nuts out there, which does not help my driving phobia one bit. And at nighttime it's pretty much impossible. When I'm going to come or go, especially if it's dim, or, well, yeah, if it's dim or nighttime completely out there, I roll my windows down because I want to be able to see. I don't want any little bit of dust on my window or anything to get between the darkness and these people in my car. I'm always very careful about that. But tonight it was dark because I waited till late to leave, and I had my wheels just right at the end of our drive, right at the road. I hadn't pulled back and left the sidewalk part. I was right there. I was ready to go. I had looked towards the right, which there's a convenience store right there, and then the interstate, and all I could see was the bright lights of the general store, or the little convenience store. And really between the convenience store and my car, it was just blackness. It was just dark. And to my left, there were two cars coming. I didn't want to try to zip around them because I'm having some automotive problems at the moment. My car isn't accelerating very well. So I wanted to wait for them to go on by, and then I'd make my right turn out of there. Okay, so I looked. Nothing as far as I could tell, just blackness. I looked the other way, waited for the cars, and then I accelerated, and suddenly somebody went bam, bam, bam on my hood. Scared the living crap out of me. Scared me so bad. And there were two people that I had just come within a fraction of an inch of running into and running over. And they started yelling at me, and I was saying, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, I didn't see you, I looked, I didn't see you, I'm sorry. Well, I'm sorry, doesn't give a goddamn motherfucker, doesn't matter, blah, 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 blah. And the guy was so fucking scary looking. He looked like somebody that lives under a bridge, smoking crack, and shooting meth, or whatever people like that do, like teeth black, missing, crazy, dirty hair, just dirty, gross. And this bitch that was with him, quite a bit shorter than him, just kind of looked like poor white trash, like super trash, just bad, beyond just being poor, like into being really dirty, messed up looking people. I don't know if they're mentally ill, I don't know if they're drug addicts, or I don't know what their issue is, but suddenly there they were banging on my car. I had my windows down, which did not help my confidence one bit, and scared the life out of me. And as they passed by, they're yelling at me and stuff, and the guy gets up in my face and he says, how about I pull you out of your goddamn motherfucking car and break your fucking legs? And she's egging him on, and I'm continually apologizing and trying to explain to them that I couldn't see them. And then I looked at them and I realized they were both wearing black clothing. Both of them, black tops and pants. And their shoes were dark. And, you know, short of seeing their dirty white faces, I couldn't have told that they were there at all. And it freaked me out so badly. And he turned around and started walking away, and she's got short legs and wasn't walking as fast as he was, and she's continuing to harass me. And I had said I'm sorry to them enough times, and I started screaming back at her. And I made probably a rather motherly sounding suggestion that perhaps next time she put on a white shirt or something so she could be seen in the pitch dark instead of wearing black in the blackness. And she turned around and said, I know. And oh my God, it freaked me out so bad. I tell you what, I need to look. I think Mambo's up to no good. No, he's not. That's my computer. I am so blind. I saw something black. I thought Mambo was getting into something he shouldn't have. But as you can tell, I'm upset. I was so upset, in fact, that I pulled out into traffic, and then I got extra like driving phobia because I didn't feel like I was suitable for driving. And then I missed my turn into Walmart and got freaked out and thought I was going the wrong way, or in the wrong turn lane, or going into headlong into traffic. I just had a complete like little meltdown. And I pulled into an empty parking lot somewhere, sat there with adrenaline surging through me, and my sister called me. I was texting her, oh my God, people wanted to break my legs. And she called me and she helped settle me down a little bit, but I was having a lot of trouble because of just the sheer amount of adrenaline racing around in me. And I finally pulled it together though, because talking to her, I realized, like at first I was feeling like I was at fault. I was the bad person. Then I'm like, they know that sidewalk's dark. One of the things they were yelling at me was to get my manager to put up a light out there, which would not be a bad idea. But it's hard to get them to do doodly squat out here, actually in the apartments when it needs to be done, on some things. They're sure not going to put up a light, so I don't hit these idiots. Wearing black clothing, walking on a sidewalk they knew was damn dark, seeing my car, seeing my turn signal, not saying, hey lady, but instead walking in front of my car. I'm not feeling quite so guilty about it anymore, but it did really wig me out. Bless his heart. It was like 2 in the morning, but I knew Kenny was still up next door. And so I took him 2 potatoes. I just bought a big bag of potatoes. I took him a couple of enormous potatoes as an excuse to go over. Actually, I was going to give him some anyway, but it's beside the point. And told him what happened, and he was mad. And it made me feel better because he was all... Next time, if anything like that happens again, you call me. I don't care, no matter what. You come over here and get me. You call me. And I'll get out there. And he's kind of a little guy. But little guys can be really scrappy. I don't know, but I appreciated the effort anyway. Then, so I went to the store. I got to the grocery store. And I'm not going to say which grocery store. And I hadn't gotten very far into it, but I heard a kerfuffle going on. And I saw these trashy looking women. Like, I'm not just putting down people that are like poor and don't have money for new clothes or to wash their clothes. That's not what I'm talking about. It was like fun trashy, I guess, really. It was like something out of a Coen Brothers movie, or maybe a little bit John Watersy. Like, the mama had on a tracksuit. It was like really balloony, Missy Elliott looking purple tracksuit with these pinstripes and these big sections of like tiger stripes going down it, and some kind of a like ponytail on the side, like very like she misses the 80s, and some kind of crazy purse with a big cross on it or something, and the other women ended up to be teenagers, and they're like in short shorts with one of them with their ass cheeks hanging out, and those cowboy hats that curls up on the sides, and then some kind of like a leather shirt that had a lace inset across the back, and some little boots and some big gaudy purse. And it was horrifying, but wonderful at the same time. And the reason I noticed them is because the store manager was over there chewing their asses out, and not in a sexy kind of way. Not that that would ever be sexy to me, but you know, reaming them out. No, that's not a good example either. He was over there yelling at them, and as I heard it, I turned down the nearest aisle and pretended to be looking at some macaroni and cheese very intently. It was a big display of Kraft mac and cheese, and I stood there and just looked at all the identical boxes as if I'm trying to figure out what to get so I could listen in. Man, he was giving them what for, and she was saying something about my children. I don't like my children being treated that way. And them standing around, yeah, mama. And he was like, I don't give a... He was being nice. He didn't say any cuss words like I probably would have. He was like, I don't care. I don't want to ever see you in this store again. And I was so curious, and I almost asked a stalker, and then I almost asked the janitor, and then finally I couldn't stand it anymore. When I was in line, the cashier said something. I don't remember what. And I was like, what happened over there? I heard all that. What was going on? And she told me that they'd had problems with those people before, that the mother sends the girls to shoplift things out of the store. Maybe all that like gaudy clothes and crazy purses and stuff, maybe they're, you know, putting stuff in there. I don't know. She could have hidden a whole Missy Elliott in that suit with her, and she was no tiny gal. And I don't know, could have been Cheerios all up in there. I don't know. But so that was pretty nifty. And then I've got to check tomorrow to really see if this is true or not, because I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. But I had things to check out, and I had quite a few things to check out. My total came to like $130. And I ran my card through, and I started to put in the PIN number, but I started putting the wrong one in. I just got one digit into it. It was like, ah. And I hit the X button, and I guess it canceled the whole thing. And I told the cashier, you know, I'm sorry, I put the wrong PIN. I had to do that. And she's like, oh, that's okay. Oh, no. Oh no. Like, what's happening? She's like, I hit this and that, and then the screen froze up, and then the whole thing just went black, and now it started again. It rebooted itself. And she says, I don't know what to do. And she went and like got a manager, and they looked at it, they looked at the receipt, and they messed around with it, and she said it checked out. It all checked out. And we both said, I don't think it did. She's like, yeah, it says on here that it did. But there was only like a few things on the receipt. I think maybe it wasn't even my receipt. I don't know. I'm not sure what to think about it. And they ended up sending me out of the store with all that stuff, but I don't think I paid for it. And I told them, I said, I don't think it went through. Let's recheck it. And she's like, no, it's okay. Just go. The Walmart Corporation can certainly afford it, especially after all the abuse I have lived through at the hands of some of their employees in certain locations. But I'm very nervous about it. I'm very paranoid about it tonight. I've had my nighttime meds, and it's making my mind race. And I'm thinking the cops are going to show up at my door any minute to come and get me for stealing like $130 of stuff out of the store. But I kept arguing with them, and they just finally just go. So I was like, okay, ladies. But I know for a fact at least some of that didn't check out. It's a little more complicated than that. I was using 2 different cards, making basically 2 different purchases. But oh, it's a whole thing. Anyway, I don't know what to do. I may call them tomorrow, talk to them about it again, or I may just consider it a gift from the universe, making up to me for almost running into the scary troll people that tried to run in front of my car on a dark night. Oh, my Lord, y'all. So that's my story. I hope you found it amusing. I feel I was very upset and like crying and freaking out for hours. And now I knew I'd get to the point, which is now, that I would be able to laugh about it and see it as a colorful and amusing evening. I made it out alive, and so did everybody else. Amazingly. Good night, everybody.